everyone, and welcome back to the Coin Drop Podcast, episode number 94. Are we on 94? Yes, 94. Yes. I am one of your hosts, Russ, as always. Tim is here as well, as more often than not. We're pretty much always. I think we're back to a point where, like, statistically, we can start saying always again, right? Like,
we can.
I think we're there. Episode 94. We are hot off the heels of announcing our website as well as our 2-year anniversary giveaway. For those of you who don't know, yes, that was last week, Tim. I saw your face. You looked a little. You had to think
the way you said it didn't. No, it was the way you said it didn't compute appropriately, and I'm like, we're going to announce it?
No.
Hot off
the heels.
Yeah, like I said, it didn't compute appropriately. That's all it was.
It's all right. It's been a week.
Yes.
So if you have not gone over to our Facebook, followed us on YouTube, or joined our Discord, or contributed on Patreon, you should consider doing those things. You can find our information all over the place. Come to the Discord, go to our Facebook, do those things, enter in the giveaway. It's literally a free $70 game, guys. Free. No catch. You just have to win. You just have to enter and you have to win. That's all it is. Plain and simple. That being said, website is still very much in development. I don't know if anybody has gone and looked at the website yet. There's not much there currently, but Tony is hard at work putting it together for us. There is going to be a little bit of some growing pains with that website. It is custom built for us from the ground up, so please be patient as that website kind of grows with us. There's a lot of ambition with that project. The hope is to be able to host the podcast audio on there as well. That way I can save the money of having to host it somewhere else. Strix is joining us in chat. He said, yeah, do those things or else. That's a his threat, not mine. Just want to make that clear. I'm not getting those charges. Strix, you can have those. So that's it. I guess, Tim, how's your week, man? How you been since last Saturday?
Pretty chill week, honestly. I've been doing my best to get absolutely as much time in Assassin's Creed as I can. I'm actually, I think, at like 30 hours now, which is rather insane for me. 30 hours in a little over a week. That's still barely the surface. Although I am finding that I'm absolutely loving the world design of the game. It's just fucking gorgeous. I'm really starting to nail down nowadays stealth as well, although I fuck up from now and again, and I just generally get decimated most of the time because usually they'll call for backup and then like 18 people show up and you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
The only thing that right now that I'm finding so far that I dislike about it is that it is so open world, like so ridiculously open world that even the storyline is that way. And what I mean by that is, like, I could just be randomly strolling through the world anywhere in a city or not, and then there's a kill target that I'm supposed to kill that I should have talked to someone first to know who this person was to want to kill them. I have killed somebody. I didn't realize they were a target. I killed them, and then the splash screen popped up. And they're like, "You've killed this person." I'm like, "Who the fuck was that? What?" Okay. And then earlier today, I actually forgave someone. They were like, "Oh, you finally came to kill me, didn't you?" And I actually, it didn't give me the option to kill them right away. I pulled left trigger or L2 in order to zoom in on them because I was like, "Is this a target?" And it gave me the option to kill or forgive them, like release them. And I was like, well, I guess I'll be merciful because I don't know who the fuck this is. And then I went to the objective screen and it was like, you chose to forgive this person, and it gave their history. I'm like, what? So, like, the storyline is super disjointed and it's not linear in any way. And
I don't love that.
I'm like, yeah, it feels like I'm running into things out of order.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if the canon mode where the storyline is like told for you, if it allows you to do this as well, or if it forces you into a linear structure so the storyline makes fucking sense.
From what
Other than that,
from what I know of that, all it does is make your choices for you. So where you have the choices to spare or not, that's the only thing that canon mode changes, as far as I understand. I don't love that. That's kind of like, God, there was another game, I swear, that I remember playing, and it was very open like that too, where you could just accidentally kill targets and be like, oh, okay, cool. That was like somebody. I wanted to say it was one of the Shadow of Mordor games or something like that. I wouldn't
be surprised.
Yeah, where like you could just kill somebody and be like, oh shit, that was who I was here for. Okay, I fucking know. Yeah, I mean, I got that feeling that it was super open world when I got out of the beginning, so I was like, yeah. But
I think the world being as gorgeous as it is, it's just so much fun to just explore it because of how fun it is.
It just isn't Assassin's Creed. It's not. No, I mean, Assassin's Creed is an urban stealth game with social. That's right. That's what Assassin's Creed is. That is what Assassin's Creed is. This is just open world RPG. It's fine. Doesn't make it a bad game. It just makes it
change over time.
Yes, too much so in the case of Assassin's Creed. Anyways, I played Doom. Got into Doom 2016, had an itch and just started scratching and just haven't stopped, and now I'm bleeding profusely.
I think I saw Mike playing that earlier today.
Yeah, I got him on it too because I was talking about it and we were talking about how good the music was, and he's like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna play it now." I'm like, "Yeah, that's right, bitch." So
I played that one in probably like 2018 or 2019. Yeah. Played through the game, finished it, then have not touched the follow up.
I haven't finished it, so I'm excited to like kind of play through it because it came out when I got my laptop, and my laptop was like barely running it, so I was like, just not do it.
Yeah.
But on the 7900, it's been rocking solid, and my new laptop runs it great because that thing's got a 4070 in it, I think, the new G16 that I bought. But it's a good laptop. But been playing that, and then I've decided that it's finally time for me to lay Assassin's Creed to rest. So what I'm actually doing is playing through all of the Assassin's Creed games from 2 forward, because I already just recently replayed through 1. So I'm going to play through 2 forward all the way up to Syndicate, and then play Mirage, and then wipe my hands of the franchise, because until something massive changes,
until it gets a reboot.
Yeah, and 4 is apparently getting remake, which like there's been a lot of I find it weird that they're doing a remake for 4 when they remastered 3. I feel like that's a weird choice. I'm not sure that I buy that it's a full remake. I'm more likely to believe that it's a remaster, but all of the leaks seem to suggest that it's going to be a remake. So
the rumors have been there for almost 2 years now. Yeah. And we actually talked about it when we first started.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that they haven't shown it off yet does kind of lead me to believe that it will be a proper remake.
It just seems like a weird one to choose for. Like, why not do Assassin's Creed 1? If you're going to remake,
I agree with you there.
Why not do the one that's the oldest, that was arguably the best in terms of like setting the tone of what the franchise is?
Well, unfortunately, that's not what people care about. They care about which one was the most popular.
Yeah.
And 4 was when it was at its height.
Yeah, which is disappointing, but it was a good game. So I don't know. It seems weird. Hopefully it does well enough that they remake the other ones, but they already did a remaster of 3, so doing a remake seems, I don't know. It's a weird choice.
They'll reboot the franchise eventually. Eventually, the model they have now will die, although it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. This game has been selling really well. If they're
gonna remake it, I'd prefer they didn't. if they're gonna if they're gonna remake Assassin's Creed 1 with the model they have currently, I'd prefer I'd prefer they just.
I would agree
leave it
with
alone.
you. Definitely don't change the model. Remake it, but like give it an RE2 remake, keep it faithful, and maybe add some stuff to it.
I mean, even Final Fantasy VII remake style would be fine, because like they added to the story, but they didn't change what the game was, like shifting what Assassin's Creed was to its current model. Right. Yeah. And combat was only better by remake, in my opinion. Like turn-based is cool, but we're past that. So anyways, I'm putting Assassin's Creed to rest. It's going to be put behind me. I have all the DLC, everything, so I'm going to do that, and then move on and play other things. But that franchise is dead until they change it, to me personally. So, and then we'll see.
I'll continue to love the franchise more than likely.
Yeah.
I've liked what it shifted to. I'm a big fan of the remake or whatever. But anyways.
The open world stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Totally understand. But let's talk about something that neither of us are really a big fan of. Switch 2. Ooh, buddy, where do we start with this? They just had their second direct in a week, I guess, right? Like they did in 2 weeks, I guess.
It was Thursday and Wednesday. It was Thursday the week before, and then Wednesday this last week.
Yeah. And we finally got a look at more of the hardware, the games, a lot more knowledge about the system. and unfortunately price numbers, which they didn't announce until after the show, if I understand. I'll be honest, I'm going to be 100% here with the audience. I started watching this show, and the more it went on, the less interested I was. So I actually just pulled out my laptop and started working on tracking numbers and entries into our giveaway. So I completely just at some point was like, yeah, I'm not fucking interested. Nintendo, you've botched the hell out of this. So why don't we talk about it?
I was at work, and so while I wasn't able to like necessarily look at my screen the whole time, I did have it up and I was able to listen to everything. Yeah. How do I talk about this without being shitting on them the whole time, right?
I can start. So one of the things they talk about a lot of is the 3 different types of Switch 2 games. I guess not a lot, but like the big question mark, right, is like, okay, well, upgrades, right? Like, so you've got native Switch 2 games which are coming. You've got re-released Switch games that are coming as like an upgrade version to the console. So if you didn't buy, say, Mario Party Jamboree, you can buy the Switch 2 version of that. Or if you already own the game, you can buy an upgrade. And the more times they said you can buy, I'm like, I wonder how much that's going to cost.
they were definitely saying you can buy like the whole damn time.
You can buy this camera that it records your face in 480p. Like, what the fuck?
New controller, new Pro controller, new chat button.
Hold on.
Which requires online. Yeah.
This is where I tuned out. This is where the show killed me. Where I was like, nope, I'm done with you, Nintendo. When they straight up said you can't use your SD card from the original Switch to the Switch 2, you have to use this new version of SD card. I was like, y'all done fucked up. I'm done. Tuned out.
Yep. Yeah, it has to be, what is it?
It has to be, because the read speed or something like that, right?
Yeah,
but
the read speed
still
is
like, it's like, ooh, guys, you fucked up there.
It's almost like the SD or SSD version of the SD card.
Right.
And even still, it's really not the best of solutions.
No.
But I digress. I mean, hell, when the Switch launched, and the OG Switch, when it launched, it had 32 gigs, if I remember correctly, of internal storage, which wasn't even enough for most games. This time around, they're giving us 256 gigs, which is also kind of a joke.
Yeah, it's still
a joke. But I mean, at least it's more enough for a couple of games, right? Well, you'd probably be able to put in like 5-ish, would be my guess.
You might be able to fit Cyberpunk on that.
Yeah.
But by itself.
That'd be gigantic. I mean, even Call of Duty wasn't that big, but yeah. But
Baldur's Gate 3, you'll be lucky if you get it on there. Let's see.
Insane. I don't think that was one they announced for this.
It's not, but like Baldur's Gate 3. Let me just let's see here. Installed files is 147 gigs on my PC.
The point is there are some games coming that are gigantic, including Cyberpunk are coming to the system, and you're gonna have to buy these new SD cards, and they're not cheap, and they're also not a great solution. But what can you do? Nintendo wants you to buy all of the things.
Yep.
So I wrote a list. I've been tracking the talk around the system since it was properly revealed, and I'll just put it that the vast majority of it is not very good. I did the good, the bad, and the ugly list, and I actually rearranged it from the good, the bad, and the ugly to the ugly, the bad, and the good, because there's just so much ugly and bad in here. We'll go ahead and start with this one's sort of minor. I'll be honest with you, but like even still, they hinted, they teased us with the new C button before. They told us what it was, right? Yeah,
I got thoughts on
this
that.
new C button. We're like, oh, what's this button? It's got to be something cool. It's a chat button. Is what they're calling it. It is the button you press when you want to talk to your friends. And you can set up lobbies and stuff.
Can I just say, is it just me, or did they just straight up steal Discord's API? Like, I legitimately expected them to go like, we've partnered with Discord. And I'm like, okay, you didn't. You just straight up stole everything that is Discord. Okay.
It's really unfortunate, because I wish they would have partnered with Discord. It would have made things so much better.
Why the fuck don't consoles do that?
Sony did. You can on Sony's.
You
at least
got
for
some features on
voice,
it. Yeah.
For voice you can.
Yeah.
Anyways, to be fair, not to be fair, to give everyone a warning, the chat button is locked behind their online.
Yep.
You have to pay for their online in order to use this. They have not stated how much it costs. Yeah, you have a premium button. Literally, you can't use unless you give them money.
Stupid.
We don't know how much their online is going to cost this time around. Originally, it was $20 on the Switch 2, but I can damn well bet that it's going to cost more than that this time around. Yeah. I would guess anywhere between $40 and $50.
Yeah, I mean, you're using their built-in chat now instead of your cell phone, Tim. Of course, they've got to charge you.
Do you remember what the original makeup or like setup was for chat on the Switch?
I remember it was laughable. Yes, I remember it was plug in a headset to your phone and then use this app. It's like, do you guys not know?
It was worse than that.
Was it?
It was plug in a headphones to a block, which then plugged into your Switch and plugged into your phone. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. Thankfully, they got rid of it quickly. But
yeah, because everybody's like, I'll just download Discord, thanks, and like Discord on my phone.
Yeah.
Right. Or actually call the guy I'm playing with or person I'm playing with.
Yeah, right.
Wild.
Just do that, especially because none of their games are massive. Anyways, the next bit of ugly news is that, and this one's the big one for me, they decided that they were going to beat Grand Theft Auto to the punch and release their games at absolutely retarded pricing. Not everything is going to be this price, and actually at the moment I think there's only one confirmed, and that's Mario Kart, but you can damn well guarantee that all of their major titles like the mainline Zelda, the mainline Marios are going to be this, but their digital pricing on these games is $80.
It's insane.
And the physical pricing is $90.
So, Tim, can we just go back to last episode? You still going to buy Metroid Prime 4, bro? Or are you going to take out a loan to buy it because you're going to fucking need it, dude? $80 for a digital game. $80 fucking dollars.
Ridiculous.
We have talked so many times about how 70 it feels so much more. 80 is laughable. Like
there's something about the $70 price tag that's just like, it's too much. I'm gonna wait. And just like I said in previous episodes, $80? Yeah, fuck no. I'm not just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until it's deeply discounted, and in the case of Nintendo, that means never.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna buy your games.
Yep.
Like,
I'm pretty sure. Like the first Mario Party on Switch is still $60. You know what?
It is.
I'm gonna pull it up right now and just verify. Nintendo.com.
They don't drop the price of their games anymore.
Nope.
They just don't.
Nope. They're recession proof, bro. That's all.
They're not recession proof. They just know people are going to give them money for it because it's Nintendo, and I want the nostalgia.
I think they're overstepping, dude. I really do.
They're extremely overstepping here. And I was going to save this little bit of news. No, I wasn't actually. This is only two points away from this bit of news. They had a Treehouse Live episode. Pretty much immediately following the reveal, and they had it later that day, and then it was following on the 4th as well. So yesterday. Or no, I'm sorry. It was after that. Anyways, they had a Treehouse Live where they were showing off their games in more detail, and they were talking more about the Switch and what it could do, blah, blah. The comments were almost entirely, and I mean 99% of the comments, and it was when you're watching something and the comments just fucking fly by and you can't read them. It was almost always drop the price, drop the price, drop the price. Like, it was angry people saying drop the price. This is retarded. Fuck no, we don't want this.
Yeah, I feel like they're so we haven't said what the price tag is. Why don't you go ahead and drop the price tag?
No,
why don't you go ahead and say it?
The Switch 2 will cost you $450 for the base model. I say it that way because there is a bundled model at $500 that gives you Mario Kart. And like I said earlier, Mario Kart is $80 digitally or $90 physically. So if you do buy the Mario Kart bundle, you'll save anywhere from $30 to $40 depending on which version you were planning on buying, which is a hefty discount. That's actually more than you typically get with bundles like this. But still, I'm gonna go ahead.
For $50 more, you can get an OLED Steam Deck.
Right? No. Not. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. It's $549 for the 512 OLED Steam Deck, or it's $399 for the 256 LCD Steam Deck.
And that thing will not only play more, it'll do more, and you can emulate everything that the Switch and the Switch 2 can do. Just saying.
It's insane.
I'm gonna follow this up with. This Nintendo stated that, like, pretty much immediately after the showing, they showed.
Oh, you're gonna talk? Yeah.
showed,
okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they stated that this was not a system aimed at people who want a high performance piece of hardware. Those were almost exactly their words.
And yet they're going to charge you $500 for it.
And they're going to charge you high performance hardware prices. The PS5, which is significantly more powerful than this thing, is actually technically cheaper.
Yeah.
You can buy a digital PS4 or PS5 for $400.
But this is portable. Tim, this is portable.
I mean, this is
portable. And it's an LCD screen that's 1080p at 60 hertz. Or maybe it's 120. I don't
120.
Remember.
It's 120 hertz.
But it's portable. Tim, but Tim, it's portable.
I have to give you an asterisk here.
Yeah.
Basically speaking, the portable version of these games are going to run at 720p for the most part.
Yep.
They will now finally join the PS5 and Series X, and heck, even last generation PS4 and Series or Xbox One. Shit, was that the fuck my Xbox's naming strategy? Damn it.
Yep.
But anyways, they're joining them in the you can choose performance or graphics modes.
Got it.
So anyways. Like as an example, Cyberpunk 2077, because that one was announced for the Switch 2, will run at 720p in handheld mode and 1080p in docked mode.
Yeah. I just the more they talked about the hardware at the beginning, I was like, oh, this is going to be relatively reasonably priced. They're only doing a 1080p screen. They're doing 120 hertz. Like, you can get a massive one of those panels for like a few $100s. Okay, they've got a reasonably sized hard drive. So, I mean, 256, that's on the lower end. That should be relatively cheap.
Yep. Plus, it's an LCD screen.
Screen. It's not OLED. It's not LED. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. What's your price tag? I'm sorry. What are you smoking? What? Dude, like, Nintendo is straight up. I'm gonna say they're having their Sony PlayStation 3 announcement moment. They're like, you're gonna buy it, and I'm sitting here going,
exactly what this
I don't think we are.
Nope.
I don't. The Switch sold well because it was Nintendo, and it was cheap. Mm-hmm. They've said that this isn't a premium hardware device, but they're going to sell it at a premium hardware device level. Like, you're competing directly with the deck.
Yep.
What are you thinking?
And many other PC.
Yeah, the Lenovo
devices.
Legion, the one I can't say, the Ieno Nino Mama Nah, whatever it is. Yeah, that one. Like.
So let me make a few more points here because I have a lot more written down.
Sure.
And we don't have a whole lot more time to talk about the Switch. So they also have paid upgrades for Switch versions or Switch 2 versions of Switch games, and those are going to run you $20. And when I say they have minor upgrades, I'm talking barely a resolution upgrade and barely a frame rate upgrade.
Yep.
They have those, yes. But one thing I noticed with the Breath of the Wild upgrade was, while it had a better draw distance, a better resolution, and better colors and things of that sort, I noticed the foliage wasn't as interactive as the regular Switch version, meaning like the grass and the bushes and stuff weren't blowing in the wind quite as much. It was really interesting. It was like, kind of strange. But anyways, you're going to pay $20 for upgrades for almost no improvements. Wild to me. Also, Breath of the Wild, as a specific example, if you want to buy the Switch 2 version and you don't have the OG Switch version, it's going to run you $70. That game's like a decade old at this point. That's retarded.
Yeah.
Moving on for other stuff.
Oh, sorry, Nintendo. You gave us ammunition. We're gonna shoot you with it. Like, I didn't
they are introducing
I didn't really want to do another episode on Nintendo, like back to back, but it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah, especially at this point. I mean, the whole industry basically held all of their information back because of this, and so that's what we have to talk about.
Yep.
They are introducing a thing called game keycards, and this isn't every game, and I don't know exactly how they're figuring out which games do this, or if there's like physical versions and then keycard versions. Basically, you can buy the game, and it's a quote keycard version of the game, and you get the game. It's basically a code in a box, but that code is in a physical format, and so you have to download a portion of the game in order to play it, but I don't know. It's like DRM in a disc or in the cartridge. It's freaking weird to me, and I don't like it. Although, if I'm not mistaken, you are able to sell it. So I don't know how I feel about it. I'll be honest with you.
Weird.
In order to share it with your friends, you have to be physically present with them with your Switch 2.
Yeah, they talked about that last. Yeah.
They told us that you could reserve the platform come April 9th, but almost immediately reversed that because of the new tariff plan that Trump has put into place. I don't know if that means it's going to be more expensive. I don't know if, I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine after all of this, they're going to go, oh, Trump tariffs, it means it's going to be more expensive now. You got to spend $550 or, whatever the fuck they decide to do. It's wild to me that they would have announced this and then immediately said, oh, by the way, it's going to cost more now, when Trump has been talking about this for weeks, months even. But, I mean, that's a digression. They did state that the system is still going to launch on June 5th. So we'll see what that means. I'm hoping that won't be a more expensive console, but at the same time, I'm kind of hoping it will, because then that just means people won't buy it and it'll flop and Nintendo will learn a fucking lesson. I don't know. Another gut punch to people's, I don't know, appreciation of Nintendo. Nintendo has decided to release a region-locked version of the Switch 2. They have the regular region-free Switch 2 in Japan, but also a region-locked version of the Switch 2, which is meant to combat scalpers. But this is only in Japan, mind you. They are pricing this $120 cheaper than the base model. If you do the conversions from yen to US dollars, they're pricing it $120 cheaper, meaning it'll be $330 instead of $450. So clearly, they're able to sell this thing at a decent price, just not for everyone outside of Japan, because fuck you guys. That's why.
Yeah,
that's basically the extent of the Nintendo announcement outside of the good stuff.
There's one more bad thing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What is that?
So this was the other part where I definitely, I tuned back in and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm turned off now. I actually audibly laughed. They announced their, I'm going to put in air quotes for our audio listeners, game, which is their welcome tour game. It's literally called the Switch 2 Welcome Tour, and it doesn't look like a game. It looks like you can wander around and find out cool things about the Switch.
You can wander around the Switch 2.
Yeah, it's
like
fucking
it's a museum,
weird. Right.
Almost.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, at least that's cool. It comes with something to play, because the Wii came with something to play. Oculus comes with something to play. So many consoles.
Five comes with something to play. Yeah.
And they're like, you can buy it. And I was like, buy it? Buy it. Who is going to buy a game called Switch 2 Welcome Tour? Buy this? Are you fucking insane?
I saw something on this, and I don't know how legitimate it is, but supposedly it's only going to be somewhere around $10 for that. But
I'm still not paying them for it.
At the same time, only $10. It shouldn't cost anything more than $0.
Yeah. I was like, hold on, wait, what? Hold on. I bought an Oculus Quest when that came out, and it came. Like an Oculus it was the Oculus Rift came with an intro thing, and every VR headset ever since then has. And consoles do it now too, right? Like, I don't remember if the PS4 came with an intro game. I don't think it did.
The PS4 did not.
I didn't think so. But
PS5 did.
Fucking at least Switch, when it didn't come with an intro game, it had the 1-2 Switch game. That's a game. That's a real game.
But you still had to buy that though.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean. Like it didn't come with it, but that was a real game that they launched alongside it. Yeah. This, they're like, it's the welcome tour. And you're going to charge me for it?
This is how you learn about what the Switch is and what it can do, but give us money to play it.
Dude, it literally feels like they're just like, hey, you remember when Sony made the PS3 and told people, shut up, you're going to pay for it, and people didn't? We should do that. Because that worked out so well for them.
I feel like it's more nefarious than that. It's probably more like, hey, you remember that time we told you to open your wallet and give us your fucking money because fuck you?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing again.
Yeah. It's wild. It's a ballsy choice, Cotton, and we're gonna see how it plays out for him. But,
I'm telling you, Nintendo at this point, like I've learned over the last 4 days or so since it was shown off that, you know, I think I'm basically just done with Nintendo. If I'm going to play any other games at this point, I'm probably just going to find other means to do so.
Yeah.
But I mean, there isn't all bad stuff about this. It does have better hardware specs. Yay, that's expected.
It fucking better. It's
just like saying this is the most powerful console we've ever made.
We're working, or any developer who's like, my next game is going to be my greatest work ever. Well, I fucking hope so. You don't want it to be worse.
Sadly, there hasn't been anything shown just yet that makes me go, wow, that's a pretty powerful platform.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk was shown off for it, and I guess it looks like Cyberpunk, right? In a handheld manner. So there's that, and it doesn't look like complete shit, but. We also learned with the Switch 1 that you could make some serious concessions to make open world games work, like The Witcher 3.
It's the matter of the fact that it doesn't look like complete shit is not what you should be measuring a new console by, especially when there's a handheld console already on the market for less than this that runs Cyberpunk 2077 better than this.
Looks damn good. I'm every time I play Cyberpunk on my Steam Deck, I'm very surprised at how good it looks, like legitimately.
I don't get
anyways, the system itself is bigger. Its form factor is larger, which we did learn when they showed it off, when they properly revealed it. What was that, like early February?
Yeah, when you lost your mind because I said it was a good reveal.
I still disagree with you. This just proves it. But anyways, the only thing about the bigger form factor I don't like is that its thickness is exactly the same as the original Switch one, and that just didn't work for me. There's something about like being restricted or not restricted.
It's we have big man hands, not tiny like, and it's too thin, so we're holding it like this, and it like your fingers cramp up.
Yeah, that's one thing that the PlayStation Portal does really well. The Steam Deck does really well, and various other devices. I think the Asus ROG does something similar too.
Gives you some meat to hang on to.
One really good thing, this is a really good thing, is it has a shit ton of third-party support. They announced like 50 games for it already, which is really good. Like, good for them. Unfortunately, almost every single one of those games that was shown was old as fuck, years old. Not all of them. They did show the Split Fiction and some various other recently released games, but most of them were years old. So that's like when I was like, oh great, that game's coming. I've played that 4 years ago. Oh great, that game's coming. I played that last year. Oh cool, that one is too, but I've already played it. Like, I mean, I guess there will be some people that haven't played these games, and this might give them the choice.
Sure,
but it does have HDR support, which is fantastic. Yay! But it's on an LCD screen, so it's quite limited because of that.
Yep.
I guess that's good for when you're playing on your docked mode, though. That's good.
I guess I don't.
Again, you could have a really expensive TV, so being a docked, it actually goes up to 4K on docked. So that's good.
Mike has a really expensive monitor because he's here now, crashing in my basement. Well, in my spare room, but like he's got his really nice expensive monitor. I played Doom on it briefly, and I was like, yeah, this looks great. I don't think it looks $1,000 great, but like it looks great. And I just I'm not on the LED kick yet, man. It's just too damn expensive. So.
You mean OLED?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Just making sure.
Yeah, the super high OLED stuff of just.
You said LED at first.
Right.
I was like,
my bad.
OLED.
Yeah.
That's good. And then the last bit of, I guess this is like directly good news, which I guess this is kind of debatable given your stance on this, but it has DLSS. it will allow the handheld to run games look better. And we know that console games are just, in general, they are optimized better than PC. Unfortunately for you, anyways, they just are.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
DLSS,
it's fine.
Go ahead.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't like it.
Yeah. To take a step back here, to the beginning of the episode, Assassin's Creed, that is actually one thing I've noticed about Shadows, is it's extremely well optimized. I don't think I've run into a single bug yet, like at all. And I noticed too, we're a week and almost a half into the launch, and there still hasn't been a single update for it, which is interesting. But moving back to Nintendo, that's the point. It is the same. Some of the things they've shown off at the event, like we said already, the Pro Controller. There's a new Pro Controller, and it is actually the Pro Controller, like the Xbox Pro Controller or the Nintendo or the PlayStation Pro Controller, where it has the extra buttons on the back that you can map to be whatever you feel like.
Yeah.
There's the camera to go along with it, and this is a $50 camera.
Jesus.
It's expensive for some reason. I did actually see for a camera, yeah, for 480p. Yes.
Fucking dude, like it's just it. I don't hate Nintendo.
You can buy a 4K fucking PC camera for $20. I'm telling you,
this thing right here is a 1080p.
What I have,
like.
I know.
I don't hate Nintendo. It's just really frustrating considering where we're at with like Microsoft is failing, Sony is unchecked, and now Nintendo is making really bad. What the fuck is
worried
happening?
About PlayStation doing this, and it was Nintendo of all people. Was not expecting Nintendo.
I didn't have that on my bingo card.
We can take advantage.
I did not have that one on my 2025 bingo card. I'll be honest.
Sure didn't. I fully expected it to be PlayStation before Nintendo. 100%. Along the lines of the camera, I actually did see just before the episode started, there's actually going to be a Piranha Plant version of the camera, which looks cool, but I'm sure that'll probably be like $90 because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah, probably.
It'll be 3D printed, almost guaranteed, and it costs them an extra $2 to make, but you know. Anyways, Mario Kart was obviously shown. It was the first game that confirmed. It was one they hinted at the reveal earlier this year, and it is an open world Mario Kart. I kind of got like Burnout Paradise vibes from it, kind of, which is interesting, and it's going to be kind of odd to see how that works. I think they said there's going to be 20 players this time around.
It was 24. I believe it was 24.
Maybe it was 24. Yeah. It was a larger number of players, so it'll be interesting to see how that works.
The
game,
largest
is going to be
number
fun.
of players ever.
Yeah,
you know what I want to see
in a Mario Kart.
You want what would really mix up Mario Kart? Give me mag levels of Mario Kart players.
Good God, can you imagine? The absolute chaos.
Hundreds of people on screen.
Just everyone in the last 50 places of the 256 players, all of them get blue shells.
Yep,
all of them, and it makes a fucking nuke. Everyone dies. That'd be funny.
That'd be pretty fucking good. Oh shit.
I mean, you could make it interesting. It'd still be chaos no matter what you did. But anyways, the one game, well, actually, this is one of two games that they showed that looked interesting to me, was Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's an again open world Donkey Kong, but it actually looked like it could be kind of a fun thing. They're getting away from what they brought with Donkey Kong Country Returns. Mm-hmm. They're getting away from the side scroller again and bringing back what I fell in love with Donkey Kong in the Nintendo 64 version, which was level based, very Mario 64, but in this case, Donkey Kong. So basically, it's Mario 64, but Donkey Kong, or Mario Odyssey, but Donkey Kong. I guess is probably the best way to put it.
Can I just say, like, I'm pretty sure a couple episodes I said not every game needs to be open world.
Yeah.
and
I do feel you there.
Did not hear that.
Yeah.
They heard, every game needs to be open world? Yeah, okay.
I'm okay with open world so long as it's at the very least, I don't know, interesting to play, well enough guided. So that's the one thing I dislike about AC Shadow so far. But
I would be cool with Donkey Kong being more like Banjo-Kazooie or Conker's Bad Fur Day, where you've got like an open overworld and then you go into like stages. I think that is the perfect blend personally. But
I agree with you.
Yeah, like that feels like a good blend. Like like Mario 64, right? Like Mario 64, you have the castle and you run around yeah, like that is a great version of like, okay, we want to blend some open world. And you can even make it bigger than that and have like puzzles to unlock different sections.
So kind of like the original Demon's Souls set.
Yeah,
so like, they had that same like painting system, technically speaking, but then when you went into each level, they were pretty darn big.
Yeah, like that would be okay. That's a cool way to do open world without making it massive. You can still keep the pacing linear so people can put your fucking game down and live their fucking life and come back and remember what the fuck they were doing.
Yep. I feel you there. Again, so long as there's enough guidance to keep me going in the right direction, which I'll be fair, most open world games actually do fairly well. I don't know why AC Shadows moved away from that, but I'm not worried about it. I think Nintendo, they always play it way too fucking safe in their games, and so I'm sure they'll do the same thing here.
Yeah, but we're never going to play it because they want $90 for it, so...
Oh, we'll play it for less than $90.
We'll have to sail the 7 seas for it.
Yes.
Moving
along. They announced a new Kirby Air Ride, which was very strange to me because 2 fucking games prior they showed off Mario Kart, but they said, you know what, let's give ourselves some fucking competition here. And they showed off Kirby Air Ride. It is basically Mario Kart, but Kirby. Yep.
Why not just put Kirby in Mario Kart?
About it?
Like, I don't.
Right.
Just have him ride a star and just it's
I mean, Kirby Air Ride was fun, but again, to basically launch with their own competition is a little strange. EA tried to do this before with Battlefield and Titanfall, and it didn't work. One of the games failed pretty hardcore because of it. And unfortunately, it was Titanfall, not Battlefield. Anyways. We already talked about that one, so I'll skip it. The next one was a game they showed off. Oh, the Switch 2, which this is a cool feature, I will admit. This is actually a really nice feature. The Switch 2, if you take the controllers off, the Joy-Cons off, you can actually put them down on your desk or whatever, and you can use them as like a mouse, which is cool. That's actually really cool. That makes it, you can play RTS games, you can play first-person shooters, so on and so forth. You can actually use them as a mouse, and they look to be pretty darn accurate. Actually, Metroid Prime 4 had this built in, and it's actually built into Metroid Prime 4 so much so that if you're holding the Joy-Cons and you just put them down, it'll swap from Joy-Con controls to mouse controls instantly. Like, you don't even have to do anything. You just put it down, which is actually really cool. But the game to show off these features is a wheelchair basketball game. Yes, that's correct. Wheelchair basketball. It's called Dragon Drive.
Or D&D, because there's not already another very popular game
you
that
have
might
to
have
move the wheels on your wheelchair, like a skis, or how people would in wheelchairs. Catch the ball and throw it.
I got questions about this, like a lot of questions. First of all,
they showed off that the Switch 2 is getting GameCube. I can't remember what they call it on the Switch. And it's not Virtual Console. That's the only thing that came to mind. But basically, GameCube is coming to the Switch 2's back catalog thing, exclusively to Switch 2. And they've got some classics in there, like Zelda, Wind Waker, and various other great games that came to the GameCube. And you can even buy a GameCube controller. Yes, that's right, they said buy a GameCube controller for the Switch 2 that effectively is a GameCube or a Switch 2 Pro controller, just GameCube shaped. It even has the chat button on it. Woo! They told us that. They made sure to let us know.
Yeah, it needs
You're still
to be
there
there.
because you've been silent.
No, I've been talking.
Cool.
I think you just kind of haven't been hearing me.
They showed off Hyrule Warriors 3, which honestly I enjoyed the first two Hyrule Warriors, so this one actually is right up my alley. If you know what Hyrule Warriors is, it's basically Dynasty Warriors, but Zelda. And so, yep, we're getting more of that. This next one's very controversial because it's not very From Software like, but From Software showed off their next game, and it's called Duskblood. It is exclusive to the Switch 2, and it is a PvPvE mini battle royale. I'm not going to go into all the details, but basically it is a multiplayer focused game, and it is decidedly From Software like. Sure looks like From Software, and everyone was like, oh, look, we got Bloodborne 2. And then all the details came out, and they're like, oh, we didn't get Bloodborne 2. On the lines of From Software, Elden Ring is coming to the platform, and it looks decidedly worse than the rest of them, and you're going to pay more. So moving on. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Cyberpunk 2077, which we've mentioned already, Street Fighter VI, Split Fiction, Hogwarts Legacy, Borderlands 4, and then a shit ton of other games were confirmed for the Switch 2. Cyberpunk 2077 is going to cost you $70, and it is going to be the de facto worst version to play. So buy it somewhere else. Well, maybe not worse. I actually, that's probably an inaccurate statement. I'm sure the PS4 and the Xbox One versions will be worse than the Switch 2 version. But yeah. Anyways, the Switch 2 is a platform that's coming that's going to cost you way too much money, and they're going to charge you for every nickel and dime that you have.
For every game. Yep.
You have gone completely silent. That's why I thought you weren't here anymore, because I can't hear you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yep. Been here the whole time, buddy, but you can't hear me for some reason. Not sure what you did.
Ooh, why can't I hear you?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's on my side or your side.
It's definitely on your side. Yep.
I can see you talking. That's all I can see.
Technical difficulties. He broke something.
Do anything,
I also just realized we're not streaming on Facebook for some reason, so I broke something at some point.
Well, he can hear me.
Yep, sure can. So, yeah, the wheelchair game has some interesting.
According to my thing, Discord is still.
Tim broke something.
Both of us. Nope, still can't hear you.
2 years, guys. 2 years, and we're still.
I don't know what to do without fucking everything up here, like video and everything else. So I don't want to do that.
Yep. 2 years, guys.
I've got a potential solution. Potential solution here. Hold on a second, without fucking everything up. Hang on a second. I'm gonna do this.
I do have questions about the wheelchair game. Mainly being like, how responsive are those controls? I mean,
I've got you on my phone now, so I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can, and you sound tinny as hell.
See me?
No, cannot see you.
Damn, it killed my. Yep.
This is a great end to our podcast for the night.
Fortunately, you're still quiet as fuck, so I can't hear you. Hang on a second.
Awesome.
Talk now.
Hi. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
I had to adjust your volume on the PC so I could hear you on my phone.
Yeah, I can't see you as your webcam's gone. Mm-hmm.
And I guess I could turn it on my phone. Whoops.
Yeah, this is super high quality content here, guys. 2 years. This is what you pay for. Patrons, thank you.
Because to figure out what the fuck happened.
I have no idea. Dude, I just tried to talk about the wheelchair game, and you just blew right through me. I was like, oh, he can't hear me.
Yep. Nope, I didn't have you up because I had my notes up, and I was wondering. I was like, "Is he still there?" And I saw you. And, I actually went back to you, and I saw you still like nodding your head. So like, okay, cool, he can hear me. He's just being silent.
Nope, you can't hear me. The wheelchair game, I don't have a problem with it. It actually like reminds me a lot of Rocket League is kind of the thought that comes to mind. The biggest question mark I have is how responsive are those controls really going to be in that format? Because let's be real here, we're playing this on a couch. You're not sitting at your desk playing your Switch. Maybe some people are, but like you're moving these sticks over either your thighs or like the couch or just in the air. Like, they don't really specify how well it's gonna, and it seemed like it was kind of glitchy when they were trying to go from moving to shooting. So like, I got questions about how reliable that's gonna be.
That I think is going to be the big deal. It's not necessarily the responsiveness of the controls. It's going to be the fact that you have to swap from moving your wheelchair to then grabbing the ball and throwing it or catching it or whatever. So like, that's so unintuitive for a video game.
Yeah, and while like, I actually have a cousin who his name's Barrett, who actually was in a wheelchair basketball league, and it's actually a really cool sport to watch in person. What?
So they be black.
That one went over my head for a second. No, he's not black. He also has both his hands. His legs don't work. Okay.
He can't shoot with his arms. That sucks.
I mean, you can. You're just not shooting basketballs. But no, it's actually like a really cool sport to watch in person. But this version of it, playing it with these very gimmicky controls, I'm not like, it almost feels like Wii level gimmicky. You know what I mean? And it has me a little concerned. It looked like it was really responsive when they showed the Metroid thing, but I feel like they tailored Metroid towards this in a way that made it really work well. And this is like, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's one of those games. It's like, it's almost like it should be their free offering.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to be like $50 and almost nobody's going to buy it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Given what Nintendo's doing lately.
Yeah, it was not an impressive show. Spanky, thanks for joining us in the chat here. I did see your comments. Yeah, it does look a lot like Rocket League. For some reason, we're not streaming on Facebook tonight, so I guess I broke something before the stream as well. So we're only on Twitch tonight. Yeah, we're doing great. 2 years, guys. We're premium, high quality content over here at the Coindrop Pod. That being said, I don't have a whole lot else. I think, Tim, you've got a couple of quick fires for us to kind of wrap out the free side, and then we're gonna head over to Patreon, I think, right?
A couple, meaning
oh, literally two. A legitimate
literally
couple.
Two.
Yes.
There was maybe a few others I could have mentioned, but they were so like not worth mentioning, basically. Anyways, the first is Tom Warren, who runs I can't remember the website he runs, but anyways, he's pretty big in the industry. If you just Google his name, you'll be like, okay, he actually is rather prominent. Anyways, he basically states that Bethesda has been working on Starfield on the PlayStation 5 for quite a while now, and it's actually highly likely to launch this year. Which, the fact that they pulled it from PS5 to begin with, when we knew it had been in development for 5 years on the platform before they, quote, canceled it, because Microsoft at the time wasn't going for a third-party strategy.
Yeah.
Stupid. Anyways, now that this launched on Xbox and everyone was like, yep, fuck this game, we're going to go back to Skyrim. I don't think this is going to work out for them like they hoped it would, but maybe. I don't know, maybe. Anyways, the last bit of news, which is actually something you should be really excited about here, is Onimusha, Way of the Sword, is actually not open world.
Awesome. That's good to hear.
Yes. The next bit is a little, I'm not sure how I feel about this, but is apparently not attached to the previous games. So that'll be weird. It almost makes me sound like it's a spiritual successor, or not a spiritual successor, but like a soft reboot, rather.
Yeah.
Because everything else about the game is like the same.
Yeah.
As far as, the demon hand or stuff like that. So, but it's not attached to previous games and it's not open world. So, yep. I'm pretty excited about the fact that it's not open world, and like we said earlier in the episode,
not every game needs to be open world. Yeah, definitely. Yes. I do have, believe it or not, some quickfire news as well to kind of end out things. Okay. RuneScape has a new game coming out. Yes.
Didn't we talk about that last episode?
We did not. RuneScape has a new game coming out called Dragonwilds, or Dragonwind, I think, something like that. You can. It's. I don't have it in front of me. I'm pretty sure it's Dragonwind. Anyways, it's a
Dragonwilds.
Dragonwilds. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to say Wilds, but I was like, nah, that's Monster Hunter. Like Wilds, right? Yeah, so, Dragonwilds, and it takes place on a different island, if I'm not mistaken. It is a survival RPG crafting game, but it takes place in the RuneScape world, not at all like traditional RuneScape. Kind of interesting looking game. If
it's very different.
Yeah, it's third person camera, looks more like an MMORPG style. You build, you craft, you kill, you fight. Typical like survival-esque game, but it isn't MMO. Yeah. It's I think it's only 4-player co-op or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
Oh, it does say that.
Yeah.
It's cooperative, 1 to 4 players.
Yeah. I believe it is going into early access soon. RuneScape Dragonwilds.
I don't think there's a specific date yet.
It is, yeah. It doesn't have a date yet, but it is coming to early access. It is on Steam. And yeah, it takes place on a different part of the world, and I don't know, I have mixed feelings. Graphically it feels very nostalgic, but also like new and modern, so it looks really cool. It's appealing graphically, but again, it's another survival game. It also still kind of feels like it's following the art style from RuneScape, so that's kind of cool. They managed to blend like a more stylized RuneScape style art with a more modernized, what you'd expect from this genre of game. So they hit like a really good line.
It's not quite a Fortnite look, but it's got that stylized, graphics and high colors and stuff like that. Yeah, color pop, exactly. And it looks like a solid mix of MMO and survival, which I think is actually a really good blend. At least it looks like a really good blend. So here's hoping that actually pans out, because it looks like it could be quite the fun game.
Yeah, the biggest...
limiting the players to 4 players is a little interesting.
That actually is the only reason I'm personally considering checking it out, because it's not like Rust or Conan Exiles or every other survival game out there, which is like, well, if you don't play, we're going to just destroy your shit because it's just going to deteriorate. So this kind of maybe might have more of a Minecraft, like it's there, it's permanent kind of vibe to it, which I would be cool for. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm guessing that it's going to be co-op and only co-op. There really won't be the opportunity for PvP, which... honestly, I'm totally cool with that. Basically, if you're playing with other people, you're all working together.
Yeah.
Sounds great to me, especially in a survival setting. And I would hope so that this game would have more like story-driven aspects. And so long as there's a reason for me to play it, why wouldn't I try?
Yeah.
They're saying that they're going to actually focus on player-driven feedback. I mean, they're gonna adjust the game based on how people play it and what they say like about it or don't like, and basically you're going to build the game. Well, you're not going to build it, but you're going to inform the developers as you play, and they're going to react to you. So here's hoping that it turns out into something good. It says here that it's going to launch in spring of 2025 in early access, so that's like now, more or less.
Sometime
Expect
soon.
an announcement anytime now.
Yeah, sometime soon. Speaking of that, early access, Game of Thrones King's Road is in early access. You can play it now if you want to fork over $20 for it. Is it 20 or 30? I can't
25,
remember.
I believe.
Yeah, 25. We haven't, because money for all of us is tight right now. But speaking on that, I'm going to go ahead and announce this now. I have been working with Iron Taxi to get a community event going for Exfil. For those of you who have been joining us for a long time now, you'll remember Iron Taxi is the dev on Exfil that we interviewed here. Me and Mike did that because Tim was unable to be here for it, unfortunately.
That was in December, I believe.
Yeah, that was our last episode of last year. Then we took our 2-week break. But he is going to be doing a community event live stream with us. We're going to be playing Exfil with him. It's going to be us 3 and him, or him and a friend, or one of the other devs on the team. I believe the community manager might be involved. It's going to be a good time. So if you're interested in Exfil at all, which is a team-based extraction shooter, ultra high realistic style, very cool looking game, tune in for that. It's going to be on the 25th. We're going to be live streaming it on Twitch and hopefully on Facebook, if I can figure out why we weren't there tonight. Yeah, we'll be playing that. So it won't be a poll this time to vote on what game we're playing for a community event. I wanted to work with Iron Taxi because Steam has recently changed their review policy. So all of the people that got Founder Edition copies of his game, Steam just went ahead and removed all of those reviews. So he at one point had like 1,400 reviews, and now he's got less than 600. So
yeah, there's less than 200. There's 196.
Yeah,
they went from 1,500 reviews to less than 200.
Yeah,
so Steam totally fucked them, unfortunately. And actually, when we say Steam fucked them, I mean I was showing it off to some people, and they're like, "It's got some mixed reviews." I'm like, "Yeah, it's because of Steam, but them basically." Although, if you look at the recent ones, the recent ones are mostly positive. So
he's going to be going over Iron Taxi is going to be going over upcoming features, things they have added, things they plan on adding, things they want to add. If you're interested in finding out more, go back and watch that episode. It was our last episode of last year. I believe it was episode 84. I want to say off the top of my head. I think that's right, but could be wrong. It is literally Interview with Iron Taxi, I think is the name of the episode. You can find it pretty simply. Just go back through our back catalog. We talk about Xfil. He kind of gives us the lowdown. It's a really interesting game. They have a really great philosophy for approaching game design that I think more people need to focus on. And we're going to be playing that on the 25th. So make sure you tune in for that. And if you have any interest in the game at all, please consider picking it up and supporting those devs because well, I mean, Steam screwed them, so they need some extra support. So tell your friends, tell your wives, tell your friends, tell your moms. And Tim, I think you got this one. There's one other thing they need to tell their moms.
Yeah, tell your mom that tell your mom I said it.
Nice. Have a great night, everyone.